Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be taking a look at a demo for a visual novel called Ocean Pearls Kissed by the Sea. The developer reached out to me and was like, hey, you want to give the game a try? And I was like, yeah, I'll give the game a try. So here we are. So one thing I want to pay attention to just like right away is just like listen to kind of like the track. It sounds a little bit haunting. It sounds kind of like I don't know, it reminds me of like a little 90s mysteries game. 90s mystery game, maybe like some of the music that you would hear in Echo the Dolphin, like Defender of the Universe. I was immediately just like, oh, I know this. I'm not sure if this is, I'm not sure if the developers come up with their own music or not, but it's very familiar for some weird reason. Also for a demo, this is a very interesting like user face and just interface and you know home screen. Like we've got a lot of different moving elements, so this is really drawing me in here. I mean, look at how many fish we've got on this screen, everybody. Look at how many different fish there are. We've got a title card bouncing. I'm pretty impressed already. This is how you grab my attention. You just like move a bunch of things across the screen as fast as you can. Anyways, I don't really know what this game is about too much. I believe that we are inheriting a house that our grandmother left behind. And it's a place that we used to spend time here when we were kids. I think that that's kind of part of the story, but we'll go ahead and we'll get into it. We'll get started. I didn't know it at the time, but the day I left the city and went back to Stonewater was the last time my life would ever be normal again. Then again, I wouldn't have felt the need to go back if not for my agent calling me, in no uncertain terms, a burnout. Oh my god. I can still remember the last conversation we had over the phone. I don't want to be the one to say it, but someone's got to tell you, baby girl. You need to get with the program. Nobody wants your little trinkets or whatever. Not anymore. To this day, I don't know who she thought she was talking to, but I absolutely should have given her a piece of my mind. I didn't. But I should have. If I remember correctly, I was too busy trying to defend myself, so I'll just have to let past me slide. You can't be serious. I've always had online buyers during slower seasons. Had, right. Look, the point is none of your usuals are looking for anything new from you, and if I'm honest, I don't blame them. Excuse me. And I'll be frank with you, chickadee. Since your grandmother passed away, keep her out of this. This is a completely separate issue. You can try to deny it, but all I know is that before she passed, your work was selling, and ever since then, look, I know it's been 3 years, but it's never been the same. Face the fire, baby girl. You're burnt out. I remember the way it sounded as she sighed. Look, like you said, we've worked together a long time. I know you know that, and you're not going to listen anyway, but do you want my advice? Since you know me so well, then my answer is no. No, Natalia, I don't. I thought so. Why don't you try a change of pace? Get out of the city. Go back to your roots. There's always that place where I discovered your work. The one you lived in with your gran. What was it called? Stickwater, right? Stonewater, Natalia. Right. Go there for a little vacation, get those creative juices flowing, and then when you get your life together, call me. I remember thinking that I was going to prove her wrong. Show her that I wasn't a burnout. And for the record, I would have done it too. If even a single thing had gone the way I planned. Of course, that means nothing did. Nothing at all. Ooh, look at that transition. Damn. Okay. Common route. How it all began. That's interesting. So, like, it'll tell you... The game is going to tell you right away, like, the different routes that you go on. All passengers for Stonewater Beach, please stay on board if your stop is Stonewater Town Center. That's me. All right, then. Have a nice trip. Oh my god, she blinks. Guys, she blinks. She blinks. Oh my god. Okay. I step off the bus on the outskirts of Stonewater Town. This place looks exactly the same. It's been years, but my grandma and I used to take the bus to this very stop when I was a kid. The ocean view across the street is still just as beautiful. Look at how pretty she is. Oh my god. Look at that. Is this supposed to be a choker of some sort? What's this? Is this a flower? Like on the choker? I'm unclear. Okay. The ocean view across the street is still just as beautiful. I take a deep breath of the fresh, salty air, wondering why it's taken me so long to return. Not that I'll be here for very long. I'd absolutely been planning on ignoring my agent's suggestion that I come back here, but then I found out that an old friend of Grandma's passed away. Patricio Penza. Patricio Patricio Penza. It's hard to believe he's gone, and remembering him has me thinking about my grandmother's passing all over again. I reach in my bag for the familiar case containing the only memento I have of her. It's nothing fancy, if I'm honest, just a little ornament I rediscovered when I was cleaning out her tiny apartment after the funeral. Technically it's mine, but looking down on it makes me feel loved. Nova! Huh? I turn towards the sound of my name and quickly catch sight of a trendy girl standing near a fence across the street. She stands, clasping her hands together excitedly as she bounces in place while staring directly at me. I do a double take. Yeah, I have no clue who that is. I turn to walk away when, Hey, where do you think you're going? Wait, she's talking to me? Do I even know anyone that trendy? Okay, yeah, I do, but here? In Stonewater of all places? No offense. I'm gonna ignore her because she's a little entitled. Where do you think you're going? What do you mean? I don't know you. Like, if you know me, tell me. Look at all the lovely... Can we just take a moment to appreciate all the lovely shading on these characters? Look at the shadows on the shadows and the highlights, just like on the clothes and everything. Shading is the one thing that I absolutely cannot do. Like, I just can't. I don't understand it. So it's just always really cute and cool to kind of look at, like, the different kind of shadings and shadows and highlights that other people do with their art. It's not like I know her, so she definitely couldn't be talking to me. Nova, over here, is that really you? Okay, scratch that. So I do know her, or at least I'm supposed to, since she clearly knows my name. It's me, Alessandra. You know, the one who let you know about the funeral? Oh my god, her name is Ale? Oh my god, that's such a coinky-dink. Wow, it's another character named Ale. We've got 2 of them on the channel now. That's funny. We used to play together when we were little, and Alessandra Penza. Of course I know who you are. I'd be shocked if you didn't. I mean, how would you recognize someone who's looked at the same for the past... Wait, all those messages I sent and I never sent you a selfie? Not one. It probably doesn't help that I'm, like, way taller and older and stuff. My bad. It's also true that I've always been pretty bad with faces, but now doesn't seem like the right time to mention it. I push at her shoulder lightly. In any case, I should have known it was you. Everyone in your family was certain that it has that certain Pensa vibe, you know? Pensa vibe? I take a scrutinizing glance at her clothing as she crosses the street, approaching where I'm standing in front of the bus stop. Yeah, now that she's closer I can definitely see it. Last season's La Voste brand floral sunglasses, $80. Sandals from Nolci and Chamala, $800. Jumper from, actually I can't place the brand. Niceberg? Nugubasa? Either way, regardless of how tight the stitching is, it's more than I could ever justify paying for clothes, regardless of affordability. Oh my god, just the sandals alone. Why would you pay $800 for sandals? Why do rich people do these things? Like, why? Like, it's just like, I could use my money for something that someone else needs, or I could buy sandals! I'm like, okay, like, go crazy, you know? You might as well, like, be dropping that money on Coke or something. Wait, I just realized, are these backgrounds just, like, real pictures? Or is this, like, a 3D rendered background? Oh, that's weird. Oh, I don't know what that is. It looks like a 3D rendered background. Nova? I clear my throat. I just meant that, like, the rest of your family, your style is casual and relaxed, and I could totally buy your whole neighborhood kind of way. That's very casual and relaxed indeed. She waves me off. That's rich coming from you, Miss Celebrity Sculptor. I'm sure it's hard to fit something like this into your busy schedule, by the way, so we really appreciate it. I have to say, always sounding so genuinely grateful makes me feel a little sheepish, especially knowing that my motives are not so pure. I'm here just as much to prove that I'm not burnt out as I am to pay my respects. I'm sure no one would have been glad for a reunion while he was still alive. I guess that'll still have to do. Oh, that reminds me, did the edible fruit flowers I sent make it on time? Excuse me? Oh, they did, yeah. Thanks for sending them. The card especially, since it means that I finally got a celebrity's autograph. The weird pause aside. Me? A celebrity? I can hardly be considered famous. Not after that last conversation with my agent, and definitely not after those annoying online articles on my so-called early retirement. Still, it's times like these I'm reminded of what a small-town Stillwater is. Right now, at the very least, it's a good thing since they apparently haven't heard the news about my hiatus. I downplayed it as best I can. It's true that I've sold some pieces, but calling me a celebrity is a bit much. Alessandra takes my hesitation for humility. Even if you act like it's not a big deal, you have to admit that it's still pretty cool. For a moment I consider making a joke about calling myself cool, but the facts are so far from the truth that it stings to think about. Time to change the subject. I open my mouth, but Alessandra beats me to the punch. So where are you staying? Stonewater's own beach. Bed and breakfast, of course. Right on the beach. Gross. That place? Oh, I mean, that place? I don't like this character. Nice save. No offense, but the old shack is practically falling apart. Are you seriously gonna stay there? I admit that it's a little rustic, but the reviews weren't the worst I've seen. Really. Close to the worst I've ever seen, but, ugh. Yeah, she's a fence alright. Look, don't judge me. It was all I could get on such short notice. It's not like I can pop into your grandpa's old rental just like old times. I expect her to smile, but Alessandra hesitates instead. Actually, wait, can I stay in the rental like old times? Yes, you, sort of have to. What do you mean? I'll explain when we get there. Well, considering that her earlier distasteful reaction is pretty close to how I feel about that bed and breakfast, too, I nodded in agreement. I'm all ears. What's happening? We walk past the edge of town towards the beach house in relative silence. The sandy road empty of cars as we go. Geez, I can't believe you and your grandma used to walk all the way out here. What do you mean? It's just so remote. I can feel the blisters forming on my feet already. Maybe I should have offered to drive us. I'm gonna tease her. I'm gonna be mean to her. Oh, come on, it's not that bad. In the city, nobody owns a car. You've got 3 options. Train, bus, or trolley. It drops you off at your house? No, we take it to the nearest stop and then walk the rest of the way, like we're doing now. Exactly my point. Please, Ale, we like it that way. You country folk are too spread out. It forces you to drive too much and walk too little. That sounds like crazy city slicker stuff, but okay, whatever you say, dude. With that mild jest and a final smile, I love how, like, she literally lives somewhere where she can take a walk on the beach every day and she has reason to complain about it. Like, that's a special kind of person. With that mild jest and a final smile, Alessandra falls back into uncharacteristic silence. Weird, I remember her being a chatterbox when we were kids. Is this normal for her now? People do change, but even in her messages, she seemed, well, the same, if I'm honest. She stays quiet for the last 10 minutes of the walk, giving me time to consider why she insisted that I had to stay here. In the meantime, the house is getting closer. The more steps... Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, y'all. I've been really tired lately for, like, no reason. The more steps we take towards it, the more I feel like I'm walking back in time. Right in front of me is the very beach where Grandma and I used to dig up seashells until our fingers were sore. Where she collected bits of driftwood for me to practice carving little wooden figurines. Where we built sandcastles together until the sun set. I pull my eyes away from the memory-laden sand to look towards the house I knew so well during my childhood summers. I drift up the stairs towards the empty porch. It looks exactly the same, right? Alessandra's voice startles me for a moment. I didn't realize she was following me up the stairs. Yeah. She slows to a stop as she reaches the top. Then Ale clears her throat. It's, oh my god, guys, look at this little detail. Like, you can see, like, the sunglasses have left, a mark. She's got a tan line where her sunglasses were. It's so silly. It's been a while since your grandma passed away too, right? I nod, even though a while is debatable. To me, it still feels like yesterday. 3 years. I wonder for a moment if she's going to ask me about coping your grief, then... Did she ever mention anything special to you about this house? Like, it being yours thanks to Patricio's will? No, sorry, Grandma's death was... Wait, come again? Did I hear that right? Listen, Nova, because of your grandma, you own this house now. I stare at her. What? Sorry? Instead of trying to explain the law mumbo-jumbo myself, maybe I should just... Here, why don't I just show you that part of my grandfather's will? You wait here. I do as she asks, watching as Alessandra disappears into the house. When she returns, she wordlessly hands me a pale yellow file folder. Confused, I flip it open and start to read the contents. On the top is a letter in neat, steady handwriting, no doubt of that of Patricio Pensa. I, Patricio Pensa, do bequeath the property, known as Pensa House in its entirety, to Nova V. Monroe, granddaughter of Abigail Carter. As I write this, Abigail, my dearest and oldest friend, has passed away. I cannot help but think of her granddaughter with concern. The future that Abigail dreamt for Nova was lofty, and not one that should be lived through alone. I cannot imagine that without Abigail, she will be able to do so without support, so I get this house in the hope that it will provide care and comfort, as well as to come to mean something to her if she finds no other place to call home. Oh my god, that's so nice. Alessandra could learn a thing or two from her dead-ass grandpa, you know what I'm saying? Like, this man gave us a whole-ass house because her grandma died. And he wanted us to be able to come back to some place to call home and find support. May she do what she deems appropriate with Penza House for as long as she walks the surface world, and may peace always be in the home of where so many of Abigail's happy memories reside. Dude, I think you were in love with Patricio. I think that Patricio Penza might have had a thing for Abigail Carter, our grandma. I check behind the letter, and sure enough, there it is, a house deed with my name on it, clear as day. I look up at Alessandra in disbelief. This can't mean what I think it does. I don't know, dude. Seems pretty clear to me. Okay. Let me first briefly establish that I'm not stupid. I can clearly read, and I know what bequeath in its entirety means. Just what? I mean, a whole house? And not just any house. One full of memories of the most important person in my life, living or not. In a way, it's the most valuable thing I've ever received. It's just so hard to wrap my head around. But why? I look at Alessandra for answers, but she doesn't say anything in reply. Instead, she sits on the front porch steps, looking out the waves. I briefly wonder whether Penzas entrusted Alessandra of all people to deliver me the news. After all, she's practically a kid. But then I also have to wonder whether or not the elder Mr. Pence's decision was a popular one. Probably not, but these people can buy another goddamn house. If they're buying $800 sandals, y'all can buy another beach house real quick. Probably a nicer one. Staring back down on the deed and letter, I take a deep breath and think on Mr. Pence's final words. May peace be in the home where so many of Abigail's happy memories reside. Grandma, she didn't mention anything about this to me at all. I'm not even sure if she knew. And if she did, it's not like she would have been able to tell me anything. She wasn't all there in the end, you know? Alessandra nods and turns to look at me. Well, I don't know the details myself, but I guess her grandparents had some kind of special relationship. Even I wonder how special. Oh my god, guys, like, we don't... Guys, come on, kiddos. Come on. How old are y'all? Y'all so innocent. She doesn't meet my eyes. No, but you don't think our grandparents... It doesn't take a genius to figure out what she's implying. Does she think someone as straight-laced and strict as my grandma would steal her grandma's husband? Oh, wait, he was married? Oh, shit. I mean, gotta say, like, some grandmas get around, you know? No offense, it's just, you know, back then. The stories I could tell y'all. Alright. No offense to the deceased, but I've seen Mr. Penza. Sure, he was nice and all, but I'm pretty sure Grandma had better taste than that. Honey, there's no better taste than money. No, bad Nova thought. Grandma wouldn't steal anyone's husband, regardless of whether they were hot or not. Okay, it's fine. I'm not upset. I don't think so anyway. Then again, Mr. Penza was over our house a lot when I was a kid, but I don't know. And not to sound callous, but it's not like we can ask them. I don't think it's worth speculating over because neither of them can confirm or deny it now. Yeah, fair enough. I don't think I want to know. And besides, even if there's no point in puzzling over it, it's just, I'm really curious. But you're right, I guess we'll never know. Her eyes move to the massive house behind us and my gaze follows. There's a silence between us that the sound of crashing waves and chatter of gulls can't quite fill. Then Alessandra breaks the stillness by reaching into her back pocket for something. Here you go. Almost forgot the most important thing. The house key. We did some light dusting, but my family left it furnished per his request. I nod, for once struck speechless. Alessandra pats me on the shoulder. I'm headed to work now, but if you need anything, you can shoot me a text. Maybe we could go hang on the beach together later? I promise it'll be just like old times. I hesitate for a moment. If the Penzas really thought my grandma and Patricio were going behind Nona Pence's back, then accepting her offer to hang out feels like I'm asking for trouble, right? I force a smile onto my face. That sounds great. Yeah, wait a minute. So, that's so interesting. I wonder what lawyer would have helped him out with this, because, like, it's weird that the family wouldn't have been able to contest us getting the house, you know? I think that generally, like... You know, your lawyer has to honor your last will and testament, but there's no way that, like, they couldn't have, like, contested this in court in some sense. It's great to see you again, by the way. Penza House might be a little far out of town, but you know that you can always bother us, right? Well, bother me, anyway. Her quick correction doesn't go unnoticed. At my expression, she hastens to explain. Nothing personal. It's just because everyone else is busy and, you know, sad and... Oof. Oh, so I'm guessing my little hypothesis about unrest behind the scenes is more or less confirmed, then. Time to play the mature adult instead of being extremely annoyed that Patricio's family is petty enough to send a 19-year-old to hand over the rights to an estate. Wait a minute. How the hell old are we? I'm looking. Okay, this is dialogue. Now, we had a little... Grandma. Nova. She's 5'2". Oh my god, she's so tiny. She's so tiny. So... Patricio, the Pensa family, super rich family. How do you save? That's a load. There we go. Okay. Ale, don't worry. You don't have to play in between. Let me guess. Patricio leaving me this house was a surprise upset and they're all mad about it? Mad? Why would they be? I'm way too obvious, aren't I? Not too obvious, but... it's like I told them. Nona's wishes are Nona's wishes, and it's wrong for them to try and change it, challenge it, or interfere. Mama's on my side too, but the aunties, it's always the aunties. It's weird to see Ale so heated about something, but I can only imagine what the family arguments are like. Nova, I know our grandparents were close, but personally, I don't think your grandma did anything wrong, but I get it. And well, I wouldn't worry about it. If anything, it means that I'll get some peace and quiet at the noisiest family and Stonewater has beef with me. You're so taking this better than you should. What can I say? I'm the upstanding stoic type. And also, if there's anything I can say from experience, it's that funerals bring out the worst in people. It's a high emotion time for anyone. Besides, even if I was feeling some kind of way about it, I'm hardly going to take it out on poor Alessandra. But really, Ale, you don't have to worry about me. I don't mind taking some alone time to unwind. Ah, of course, celeb private life. I guess you would need your downtime. I'm sure you got plenty of juicy stories that normal people just couldn't dream of. I'd love to hear some of them if you've got time. I don't bother to correct her on the whole celeb thing again. Sure, right, see you around. See you. Let me know if you need anything. I've got payroll to do or else hear Dad complain about it for the next 6 years. Bye. She sweeps her hair over her shoulder and starts on the path back to town. Before I know it, I'm staring at an empty driveway. Now that I'm alone, I can address the thoughts that have been lurking in the back of my mind. What am I supposed to do with an entire house? It doesn't feel right to sell it. Maybe I could stay. Living in Stonewater again? I mean, you have a beachfront house, and it's all paid for. You don't have to pay for the mortgage or anything, I'm assuming. It's a free house. If I had a free house, I would live in it. You know what I'm saying? No more deadlines, no more meet and greets, no more presentations. The more I think about it, the more appealing it sounds. I could always just stay here. Besides, my agent doesn't believe in me at all. I don't think she would be surprised at all if I never came back. A depressing thought occurs to me. Would anyone in the art world even miss me? But then I think about it. Would I miss anyone in the art world? My agent's derisive words come up again in my mind, but I block them out, choosing to listen to the ocean instead. I wanted to prove her wrong, didn't I? Well, here's a chance, Nova. Time to take it. So everybody, I'm just going to be bringing this episode to a close. We've been playing for a little bit of time. I know that we're not necessarily fully finished with the demo, but I do have other things that I got to get recording to, so unfortunately I got to move on. But this is a pretty good demo. I'm pretty impressed with it so far. Art style is lovely. I'm interested in kind of learning more about the storyline and see if possibly like there's a romance between... I'm getting the feeling that Alessandra and Nova might have a romance going on. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not quite sure. There is an age difference between the two of them, so I'm not really sure. But I'm pretty impressed with the art style so far. It's really pretty and it really kind of captures my attention. Storyline is interesting. This demo is available for free, so you can go ahead and you can get it on itch.io. I will leave a link to it in the description for this video below. Thank you all again so much for watching. I hope to see you all here next time. Bye! Special shout out to Patreons AceWolf741, Deep Dive Dylan, Brian White, Caleb Putnam, and Robin Harper.